You are listening to the Love Unplugged podcast, episode 94. Today on Self Saturdays, I'm sharing the habits that I changed and the steps that I followed to follow through and be consistent with them. Habits aren't always easy to change, but it can definitely be done if you create a plan. So without further ado, let's get to it. Hey there, I'm your host, Jessica Fragon, and I am passionate about doing the inner work needed to reach your goals. Let me be your guide as we navigate all the fears and insecurities that surface when it's time to step outside of your comfort zone. Along with my knowledgeable guests and industry experts, I'm here to teach you how to reawaken your life purpose and passion and create the steps to turn your intentions into action. Ultimately, my goal is to empower you to rise above those blocks holding you back and start living a life that you are worthy and deserving of. So come on, it's time to slow down, find a comfy spot with your favorite organic tea, and get inspired. Thank you for tuning in to the Love Unplugged podcast. Happy Saturday morning, loves. I'm so honored to have you join me for another Self Saturdays episode. Now, I usually set myself up for these episodes, but honestly today I'm just not in the mood to do anything but drink water and have some fresh air. So here I am drinking a liter of water with the window open. So now back to the episode. I wanted to talk to you guys about habits because I've made progress in this area this year and it was something that I really struggled with and I overcame. So I'm hoping that what I am going to share with you guys is going to help. Now, it's not easy. Changing habits and creating better or healthier ones it can be difficult. And especially for me, I'm a creature of habit and I am definitely not keen on too much change. In fact, change itself takes time for me to adjust, even when I know it is for the better. I very much am against it until I get used to it, and then I love it, which is really weird. So this year, one of my main goals was to focus more on my health and well-being above everything else. Especially with COVID, it brought to light a lot of things for me. And I had some pretty bad habits that I needed to identify and then work on changing. And one of them was drinking coffee, even though it didn't really sit well with me and was really making an impact on my already depleted adrenal glands. I love coffee. I love the taste of coffee. I love the smell of coffee. I love everything coffee flavored. I love coffee in general. It's not for the caffeine effects that I loved drinking coffee. It's such a great beverage to drink. So this was really hard for me and I knew that my body really wasn't loving it. So I had to make that change. Now, another one was taking my dental hygiene to the next level because with COVID, I really don't want to go to the dentist. I had a pretty decent routine and wanted to make it a habit to always brush, floss, water pick, and mouthwash every night, and then brush in the morning and then after lunch. And then the third one was making sure that I was moving 4 to 5 times a week. And this was a tough one. I worked out once or twice a week, and I didn't really love it, to be honest. I wanted to find something that I really loved and looked forward to so that I would actually want to stick to it and then move 4 to 5 times a week. Now, I can say after doing the steps that I'll be sharing with you towards the end of the episode, I have changed all of these habits and I have been consistent for months now. So the very first one was coffee. Now, today, I rarely drink coffee anymore. And if I do, I'll have like a couple sips of someone's and that's it. And even that's very rare. I have found a tea that I love, that I drink in the morning, that I can make with honey and almond milk, that is somewhat similar enough to the creamy goodness that I enjoyed with coffee. So it is a perfect replacement for me, and I actually look forward to drinking my tea in the morning. Now, if you haven't tried roasted dandelion root tea, you definitely should. It's delicious, and it also helps with your digestion, which is bonus points. Now, the second one is my dental hygiene. So I have gotten into the habit of sticking to the dental care routine that I wanted. And now I even find myself waking up in the middle of the night if I fall asleep to a movie to go brush my teeth, floss, water pick, and mouthwash, even when I'm half asleep. Now, I'm not going to lie, I have forgotten to put the water pick device, the handheld device piece, into my mouth a couple times before I press the mouth or the on button. So I have sprayed myself in the face and all over the mirror. And it's not the funnest way to be woken up in the middle of the night, but that's okay. I have stuck to my routine and I'm happy about that. Now, the last one is movement. I tried many different things, from barre, the class, weight workouts, random videos on YouTube, and then I finally gave Melissa Wood Health a try. It is by far the best $10 investment per month I have ever made. I crave her workouts every day, and I've been doing them 4 to 5 times a week since July now. And I think what I needed to do was really think about what I was looking for and needing every day. And yoga and Pilates style movement was exactly it. And the fact that there isn't any music and it focuses on breath helps me to de-stress from the day and then regain the calmness that I need to go into the night. Now, how did I change these habits to create better ones that I actually wanted? So here are the steps that helped me. Number 1, become aware of the habits that you're needing to change. Take a look at your day-to-day life and reflect on what you could do to make it better. So what do you need to change? And for me, when I did that, I realized that for the goals that I have for this year, I needed to make sure that I was moving and I needed to cut coffee out because it was really affecting me. And then dental care was an important one because I did not want to go to the dentist and have dental issues. The second one is determine why it's important for you to change the habit. So how would your life be improved by changing this habit? You need to really be connected to the importance of changing this habit. Otherwise, you're not going to stick to it. It's not going to be valuable for you. You're not going to want to put in the work because it is work to change a habit, to actually stick to it. So for me, my health is super important to me. That's my biggest goal this year, is to focus on that and working on fixing my adrenal glands issue. It was really important. Including physical movement every day was really important because I wasn't getting out. Because COVID, I was kind of stuck at home a lot more, working from home and whatnot. It's very different. So I wanted to make sure I was really focusing on that. And then obviously dental care was really important to me because I hate the dentist, first of all. And then having to go to the dentist for more severe issues like a root canal or cavities and things like that really scared me. So I definitely wanted to avoid that. So that's why these ones were really important to me. And because they were really important, I was dedicated to doing the work. Now 3 is start with 1 to 2 habits at a time to work on. Don't take on a whole bunch all at once. I focused on dental care as the very first thing. That was my very first habit that I tried to do, and I stuck with it for about a month before I added another habit. Then I worked on the coffee, and then in July I found Melissa Wood, and I focused on that as well. So I took it into 3 different stages. You don't want to overwhelm yourself because then you're going to stop. You're going to stop trying to be consistent. Things are going to go off track and whatnot. So you definitely want to make it easy for yourself to kind of just focus on 1 or 2 habits at a time and put in the work, and then you can change other habits afterwards. The 4th one is to make it easy for yourself to stick to it. Schedule it in, put reminders up so that it's in your face every day. So for my dental care routine that I wanted to implement, I got everything laid out on my bathroom counter. So my water pick is already plugged in. It has water in it all the time, ready to go, ready to use. I don't have to worry about that. My toothbrush, my electric toothbrush, just right beside it. My dental floss is right there beside it as well as my mouthwash. Everything's lined up, easy for me to grab and use, and I don't have to worry about it. Now, with movement, I got a little basket. I put all of my weight stuff in it right beside my office so that when I'm done work every day, it's right there. It's easy for me to grab. I can just lay out my mat and get going. My laptop's already set up, done and done. And what was even better is with Melissa Wood Health, she has a schedule set up so that she already tells you for every day of the week what videos you can do. So I didn't have to think about anything. I just press play and laid out my mat and I was ready to go. So that definitely helps me stick to something, is when I make it super easy for myself to not do it. Or wait, does that make sense? Super easy for myself to actually stick to it. And with changing the coffee habit, I just made sure that there was no coffee around. And every time that I was intrigued of getting a cup of coffee, I would just reflect on how I would feel afterwards. And it was never a good feeling. So I would really just hone in on, I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel like really bad afterwards. So I'm not going to drink it. So it was kind of just more so in that area, reflecting on how it wasn't going to benefit me doing that habit. The fifth one is to reward yourself for sticking to it. So what do you want to do to reward yourself if you stick to this plan of being consistent with this new habit? So think about that. Determine what that reward is going to look like so that you know what you're working towards and what you're going to get afterwards. That definitely helps. I've heard that habits take 21 days or whatever to implement, but for me, it took well over a month. So give yourself the time that you need in order to make that habit stick. Don't compare yourself to others. Others might take less amount of time to implement or change habits. You might need a little bit longer. It's really individual based. I take a little bit longer and I'm okay with it because I stuck with it. So definitely just show yourself a little bit more grace, take your time, and just make sure that you're sticking to it. And those are my tips. So I hope they help you in creating better habits that will help you live a life and a business that you love. So that wraps up another Self Saturdays episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I would love to hear your thoughts on these episodes. Are you liking them? Is there a certain topic you want to hear from me on? I definitely want to know. I love connecting with you guys, so please reach out to me, share your thoughts with me. You can do it by either leaving a review on the episode, or you can head over to Instagram. My handle is @ProjectLoveCo, and send me a DM. You can also connect with me through my website, www.projectloveco.com, and sign up for my love letters where you'll receive my best advice, practices, and tools that I use to change my journey of self-discovery. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday, and I hope you take some time to invest in yourselves today. I'm Jessica, and thanks for tuning in today to Love Unplugged, the podcast. If there are any questions or topics you'd love answered on the show, head on over to www.projectloveco.com and share your request with me. If you haven't yet, go to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review this podcast and share it with a loved one. Your feedback means the world to me, and the community we've created is what fuels our discussions here. After all, this is all for you. Join me next time for another unplugged conversation.